Today's top stories. Malakand says the arrest of Rappler CEO Maria Ressa has nothing to do with press freedom. The Transportation Department signs an agreement for the completion of the common station for the LRT, MRT, and Metro Manila subway. China reiterates its vow to strengthen its ties and work for the development of the Philippines. And the PNP warns the public to stay safe against criminals on Valentine's Day.
Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Malakand has dismissed allegations of curtailing press freedom with the arrest of Rappler CEO Maria Ressa for cyber libel. The palace says while Ressa can avail of the remedies of the law, she must first follow the rule of law. Janice Cave has the story.
Rappler CEO Maria Ressa posted bail today for the cyber libel case filed against her. Ressa paid a 100,000 peso bail after she was arrested by authorities Wednesday afternoon based on a warrant issued by the Manila Regional Trial Court. She first tried to post bail before the Pasay City Court at night, but she was rejected due to the jurisdiction in charge. Critics of the DOTr administration were quick to denounce the government for Ressa's arrest, calling it an attack on press freedom. But Malakand says press freedom and freedom of expression has nothing to do with her case, much more her probable violation of the country's laws. Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo says the Rappler CEO's arrest was enforced after finding probable cause. He adds that Ressa should take the opportunity to defend herself before a court of law, as he reiterated that everyone, even journalists, must follow the rule of law. The case against Ressa and Rappler writer Reynaldo Santos stemmed from a story published on May 2012. Businessman Wilfredo Keng filed the cyber libel complaint in October 2017 after he was named by Santos as the owner of a sports utility vehicle used by the late former Chief Justice Renato Corona. The article was published in 2012 and updated in 2014. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cave.
Following the arrest of Rappler CEO Maria Ressa, Malakand said its piece on the involvement of the website with social networking site Facebook. Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo said Facebook's fact-checking program with Rappler is ironic as the latter has a record of spreading fake news. Panelo also noted that Rappler is known for its predisposed articles against the administration. He, however, said the palace respects Facebook's decision being a private-run company. He said they leave it up to the people's discernment to determine the accuracy of news presented to them. Panelo said the government hopes the fact-checking program will not censor the good programs being done by the Duterte administration. Malakand says the recent conviction of a Mexican drug cartel member is a positive development in the country's war on drugs. The Makati Regional Trial Court convicted Sinaloa drug cartel member Horacio Hernandez Herrera for selling 2.5 kilograms of cocaine to undercover operatives 4 years ago. He was sentenced to life imprisonment. Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo said any circumstance that diminishes the tentacles of the illegal drug industry is helpful to the country. Panelo also said Herrera is proof that President Rodrigo Duterte's claim that the Sinaloa drug cartel has entered the Philippines is true. He said Herrera's conviction should serve as a warning to international drug syndicates trying to bring illegal drugs to the country. The PNP has recalled over 2,000 policemen undergoing specialized training to serve as additional personnel for the midterm elections. PNP spokesperson Bernard Banak says the PNP hopes to make its presence known throughout the election period. He said they need more personnel to man police operations, checkpoint operations, and other election duties. Banak earlier said the number of election hotspots may increase, especially when the campaign period for local candidates begin on March 29. The Comelec dismisses the disqualification cases against Senator Coco Pimentel, and a senator warns against declaring a state of calamity over the measles outbreak. More on these and other news around the metro from Benj Mondo.
The Commission on Elections has dismissed the disqualification cases filed against Senator Coco Pimentel for lack of merit. The Comelec First Division said the lawmaker is eligible to run in the May 13 midterm polls, contrary to the claims of petitioners Ferdinand Topacio and Glenn Chong. Pimentel was sued for allegedly exceeding the two-term limit as senator. He won his first term in 2007 following an electoral protest and then won another full 6-year term in 2013. Meanwhile, Senator Richard Gordon warned against declaring a state of calamity in the regions hit by the measles outbreak. He said the declaration could give politicians access to calamity funds, particularly those running this coming elections. Gordon, who heads the Philippine Red Cross, said reported measles cases are still manageable and there is no justification to declare a state of calamity. In other news, operatives of the Southern Police District have arrested 85 persons and seized 90 firearms since the start of the election gun ban last month. Apart from firearms confiscation, the authorities also recovered several plastic sachets of shabu and drug paraphernalia. NCRPO Chief Director Guillermo Eliazar commended SPD for its simultaneous police operations and other anti-criminal activities in identified hotspots. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Benj Bondo.
Still to come, the Transportation Department signs an agreement for the completion of the common station for the LRT, MRT, and Metro Manila subway. China reiterates its vow to strengthen its ties and work for the development of the Philippines. More on this when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Sa ginagawa ng presidente.
January 31, Huwebes, Malacanang. Hiwalay na nag-courtesy call kay Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte ang mga ambasador mula sa Russia at Israel. February 6, Miyerkules, Malacanang. Tinalakay ng Pangulo at ng kanyang gabinete ang ilang maiinit na issue sa bansa sa ginanap na 34th Cabinet Meeting. Nakipagpulong din siya sa mga rice industry stakeholders sa President's Hall sa Malacanang. February 7, Huwebes, Malacanang. Pinanumpa ng Pangulo ang nasa 80 bagong talagang government officials. Pinanumpa rin niya ang bagong Chief of Presidential Protocol at Presidential Assistant on Foreign Affairs na si Robert Eric Borge. Ako po si Secretary Martin Andanar at ito ang Duterte on Duty. Abangan sa susunod na linggo ang mga gagawin ng Pangulo.
The Department of Transportation, or DOT, has signed a contract with a private consortium for the construction of a section of the common station for the LRT, MRT, and Metro Manila subway. BF Corporation and Foresight Development and Surveying Company will be in charge of Area A of the Unified Grand Central Station located between SM North EDSA and Trinoma in Quezon City. The common station aims to connect the major railway systems in Metro Manila and enable passengers to seamlessly transfer from one rail line to another. Area A will cover the platforms for LRT1 and MRT3 to be handled by the DOTr. BF Corporation FDSC Consortium has committed to complete the construction of Area A by October next year. The common station is expected to serve around 500,000 passengers daily upon its completion. The Department of Tourism reiterated calls to all local government units to ensure the accreditation of primary tourism enterprises in their respective areas. The Department of Interior and Local Government ordered hotels, resorts, inns, and other accommodation establishments to secure accreditation. The DOT said tourism enterprises must know the importance of accreditation, which proves they complied with minimum standards for the operation of tourism facilities and services. The DOT, through its regional offices, also expressed excitement to work with the LGUs in ensuring strict compliance with accreditation rules and regulations. China remains committed to its goal to strengthen its friendship with the Philippines. Chinese ambassador to the Philippines, Zhao Jianhua, made the statement during his visit to the Philippine news agency. Zhao says the Chinese government and its counterparts have vowed to ensure that they will accomplish the agreements signed during the state visit of President Xi Jinping. These agreements include enhancing trade, tourism, and cooperation. The ambassador also noted China's support for the Duterte administration's Build, Build, Build program and hopes that these projects can be implemented as soon as possible. Meantime, Zhao expressed gratitude for being regarded as a friend by Filipinos throughout his tenure as ambassador.
So looking into 2019, our primary task is to implement the agreement that we have signed during Presidency State visit. We have to put the projects on the ground. We have to further enhance trade, tourism, cooperation in the media sector, and we have a lot more to do. So I'm happy that the departments concerned in the Philippines are working diligently together with their counterparts to get those agreements implemented. With the implementation of these documents, I'm sure our bilateral relationship will really shine like gold. As I said, our relationship has entered into a golden period. It means that it will bring more tangible benefits to the social and economic development of the Philippines.
In continued efforts to curb the spread of measles, the DOH Cordillera intensified its immunization drive targeting children. Despite having no deaths, DOH Cordillera reported 108 measles cases compared to the 14 cases recorded in the same period last year. Health personnel have begun house-to-house monitoring, while services provided in health centers are intensified at the grassroots level. DOH Bicol is also batting for mandatory immunization as countermeasure to the increasing measles cases in the region. It has urged local government units to issue ordinances to immunize those who miss their vaccines. Meanwhile, health officials in South Cotabato have recorded 39 suspected measles cases with 1 fatality. South Cotabato is one of the hotspots for measles in Region 12. Inmates in Batangas had special treats for lovers this Valentine's Day. Meanwhile, in Iloilo, senior citizens celebrate the Day of Hearts with the Department of Tourism. More on this and other stories from the provinces from Janice Cave.
Inmates or persons deprived of liberty opened today a trade fair for Valentine's Day items and novelties at Plaza Mabini in Batangas City. The trade fair is a project of the San Jose Seacoast City Jail to help in the livelihood, capacity building, and improve the lot of PDLs. Meanwhile, the Valentine's Day trade fair featured various crafts and products made by the PDLs from the city and 57 other jails in Calabarzon. Meanwhile, the elderly were treated to singing, dancing, and games in an event hosted by the Department of Tourism Region 6 and the Federation of Senior Citizens Affairs of the Philippines. They also received prizes and attended a forum on topics concerning senior citizens. DOTr 6 Director Helen Catalbas says the event will give something back to senior citizens for guiding society through their experience and wisdom. In Davao City, PhilPost is helping clients celebrate Valentine's Day the traditional way with bouquets and harana or serenading by postmen. PhilPost is also offering Padalove or Love Express for love greetings on Valentine's. The Davao City Post Office says it has taken advantage of the social media to drum up their services, which are offered not only during Valentine's Day but whole year round. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cave.
Up next, the PNP warns the public to stay safe against criminals on Valentine's Day. The Mindanao State University opens a program for launching up-to-date business startups. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
The summit, the first National Anti-Drug Summit, is the first of its kind in the country, the first of its kind under the DOTr presidency. It is a good venue for us in the government, in civil society, and all other sectors of our nation, and even our friends from the global community of nations, to get together and at least hear from one another what our programs are in terms of helping the President achieve his mission of a drug-free Philippines. Well, as the President says, the war on drugs, everything that he does, law and order, peace and order, it is always about the investment for the future, for our children, for their children, and their children someday. So rehabilitation is about fixing our country, going back to the moral fiber of our society.
It is therefore imperative that our approach to the rehabilitation for addicts is not simply to put them in the centers altogether and for them to go through the regular routine of detoxifying procedures. Every person needs to be individually counseled, to be made to voice out their personal stories, so that the healing begins with the telling and the releasing of the pain and the pouring out of the burdens of their suffering. This is why, indeed, it takes the whole nation to be mindful of an approach as intense as this.
We know the problem about illegal drugs is not confined to the user alone. Once that person is hooked to drugs, 90%, 100% of the time, perhaps, his family, her family may be affected. Her partner in life, his partner in life may be affected. His schoolmates, his colleagues, his peers may be affected. Hence, the problem of drugs is not about just the individual. It is a familial and a societal problem. Rehabilitation, rehabilitating the nation together.
Here's a warning to singles out there. Be careful while finding love on the internet. The PNP Anti-Cybercrime Group warns the public against online scams involving finding romantic partners. The PNP says online love scams involve the perpetrators posing as a love interest. The criminals are known to use fake social media accounts in different platforms, which are used to smooth talk potential victims. Once the victim is emotionally invested in their relationship, the criminals would ask them to send money for various reasons. Some victims reportedly lose millions until they realize they are being duped. The PNP advises the public never to send money to anyone they have met only on the internet and never to fall for anyone easily without meeting them personally. In our foreign news, Japan is fast-tracking the construction of several venues for the 2020 Olympic Games. Sea Forest Waterway, the venue for canoe sprint and rowing games, has finished 77% of its construction works at the end of last month. Kasai Canoe Slalom Center, which is 74% completed, will be the venue for canoe slalom games. Ariake Arena, another Olympic Games venue and the host for volleyball games, is 51% completed. Meanwhile, about 62% of Ariake Gymnastics Center has been finished. Tokyo Aquatic Center, the venue for swimming, diving, and other aquatic games, is halfway finished. On the other hand, the Athletes Village for the Olympics is under construction in Tokyo. And in sports, the Philippine Southeast Asian Games Organizing Committee has signed partnership agreements with sponsors for the 30th SEA Games. FISGOC Chairman Alan Peter Cayetano signed the agreements with representatives from Philippine Airlines, Atos, GL Events, Grand Sport, Sonac Corporation, ASICS, and Media Pro Asia. Cayetano stressed that they are expecting about 600 million spectators in Southeast Asia, including 200 million viewers of e-games. He said the organizers vowed to make use of the sponsor support for the SEA Games to give real value for their companies. Philippine Sports Commission Chair Butch Ramirez said the sponsors are investing in the country, the people, and the development of athletes. The 30th SEA Games is touted as the biggest in the tournament's history, with 56 sports and 523 events spread across venues in Clark, Subic, Tagaytay, and Metro Manila. The Mindanao State University and its partners has opened the challenge to launch the next big startup idea. Students and entrepreneurs can get some help in testing out new technology and ideas that can be formed into successful businesses. PIA's Christine Lynn Viajante has the story.
Inilunsad ng IDEA Center of Innovation and Technopreneurship ng Mindanao State University Iligan Institute of Technology o MSU-IIT ang ikatlong Mindanao Startup Challenge kasama ang Idea Space Foundation Incorporated at Startup Village na siyang magtutulungan sa pagsasanay upang matupad ang mga layunin ng programa. Ikinagagalak ng Executive Director ng Idea Space Incorporated na si Dayan D. Eustaquio ang nabuong partnership nila kasama ang Startup Village.
So co-incubation between IDEA and Idea Space is going to be very beneficial for the incubatees of IDEA because it will give them a different perspective going to Manila and getting also a larger market perspective, a larger market and outside of the Philippines as well.
Ang paglunsad ay dinalo ng mga kaagapay na mga sangay ng gobyerno, kabilang na dito ang DOST, DICT, DTI at iba pang mga pribadong industriya.
It is our mission to really try to connect the good ideas towards the generosity of some of our businessmen. We hope that we will be helping innovate ideas into better products and better services.
Samantala, hindi naman nililimita ng IDEA CIT ang kanilang mga kalahok. Hinikayat din ng IDEA CIT Center Manager na si Dave Del Rosario ang lahat ng mga gustong ipakita ang kanilang mga makabagong ideya upang ito'y masiwalat at mabigyan ng sapat na suporta.
Everyone to hopefully participate if you have burning ideas that can solve traffic, health, or even pollution, or even the long war in Mindanao. Through technology or through innovation, feel free to submit it to us.
Para sa Bayan, Christine Lynn Viajante, Philippine Information Agency.
Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Here's another look at today's top stories.
Malakand says the arrest of Rappler CEO Maria Ressa has nothing to do with press freedom. The Transportation Department signs an agreement for the completion of the common station for the LRT, MRT, and Metro Manila subway. China reiterates its vow to strengthen its ties and work for the development of the Philippines. And the PNP warns the public to stay safe against criminals on Valentine's Day.
Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. For more stories about the government and how it serves the Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. And just a friendly reminder, today is Valentine's Day, so whether you're taken single or about to be taken, remember, fall in love with life. It's about the best thing anybody can do. Happy Valentine's. And that's your daily dose of the latest news and information that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, I am William Theo. Good day.